We're going to write an equation with the line with the slope of -2 and the y-intercept of -5. Well, you guys, this is M and this is B. All you need to do, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, isn't it? So all we do is substitute that in place of m. So we write y equals, my m is -2, x plus -5. That's my b. Is that the same as y equals -2x minus 5? Number 1 says, write an equation of the line with the slope of 4 and the y-intercept of -3. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So how do you write this one? Y equals 4x plus -3. What's another way to write that? What's another way, Hannah?
Y equals 4x minus 3.
Yep, either way. Okay, next one says, write an equation of the line shown. Well, we need to have the slope and we need to have the y-intercept. Do you see on this graph either one of them? Do you see the slope or the y-intercept? Which one do you see? It's blatantly obvious. Jackson? The y-intercept. See it right there, guys? What value is that, Jackson? 2. It's a picture. You could either do y minus y over x minus x or rise over run. It's a picture. I think rise over run is easier, don't you? How many are we rising? And over. So what's my slope? Now all you do is write y equals 2/3 x plus 2. Next one, say write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. What do we know about parallel lines again? Remind me. Remind me what we know about parallel lines. Gavin?
They're never going to intersect.
They're never going to intersect, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Brady?
They have the same slope.
Yep. They have the same slope. What about perpendicular lines? Sam?
They are the exact opposite, so they're going to intersect at a 90-degree angle.
They intersect at a 90-degree angle, but they're not the opposite. They are the what?
Reciprocal.
They're the actual negative reciprocal, right? Or the opposite reciprocal. So it says, write an equation of the line that is parallel to this line, but the new line passes through this point, okay? So the first thing that we need to know on the line that they give me is the slope. What is the slope of this line? What's the slope of that line, Addie? Right? The slope is 8. What's the y-intercept of that one? I don't even care about it, but I want you to tell me what it is. What is it? Allie?
3.
No? Christian?
The origin?
It's the origin, right? Because there's nothing back here, right? So, we want to know, what is the slope of the line that's parallel to that? Sam?
8.
8. And it goes through this point, 0, 3. 0, 3. What is that? This is the y-intercept. Notice how x is 0. At every y-intercept, x is always 0. So my b is equal to 3. If that right there is 0, that's the y-intercept. So now we have everything that we need. So we're going to write y equals 8x plus 3. That is the line that's parallel to y equals 8x. That's one of the lines, okay? Part B says, write an equation of the line that is perpendicular to y equals negative 1/2 x plus 3. I don't care about anything else but the slope of this line. What is the slope of this line right here? What's the slope of that line? Tessa? Negative 1/2. And we're trying to make it a perpendicular line. So what is the slope of the line that is perpendicular to that? Jackson? 2/1, which is just 2, right? So we now know that the slope of the perpendicular line is 2, and it's going through the point 0, -5. What is the y-intercept? What's the y-intercept? What is the y-intercept, Kobe? -5. We have everything that we need now. So what is the equation of the line? Well, put it in y equals mx plus b. Tell me what to write. Tell me what to write. Landon? Well, my slope of my perpendicular line is. Yep. What's another way to write that? Hannah? Yep. Let's look at number 2. It says write the equation of the line through the points 0, -3, and 4, 5. Remember how to find the slope given 2 points? Alex? And you know what some of you did in the homework? So on this one, give me one of your y values. Maria?
-3.
Minus, what's the other y value?
5.
5. Over, so she went -3 minus 5. Then you have to put, Maria?
Of 0.
Minus.
4.
And figure it out. What do we get on top? Well, that's -8, isn't it? Over -4. So my slope is? What? 2. My slope is 2. Does everybody agree? What's my y-intercept? What is my y-intercept? Carson?
-3.
Yeah, how'd you know it was -3?
Because x is 0.
Exactly. Look at that. She knew because x was 0, the y-intercept has to be -3. So what is the equation of this line? What is the equation of the line? Jack?
Y equals 2x plus -3, or y is equal to 2x minus 3.
Yep. Either one. What's the slope of this line right here? What's the slope of that line? Ava? What's the slope in number 3 of the line that they give you? What is the slope, Christian? What's the slope of the line parallel to that? Because it wants the parallel line. What's the slope of the line parallel to that one? Carson? 3. Do you guys know what the y-intercept is? Jackson? 4. So what is the equation of that line, Jared?
Y equals 3x plus 4.
Yep. Okay, so we know the slope of that line is 3. What's the slope of the perpendicular line? Because this one wants perpendicular. What's the slope of the perpendicular line? Jacob? -1/3. Good. What's the y-intercept of that line? Tessa? -2. So write the equation for me. What is the equation, Hannah?
Y equals -1/x minus 2.
Or? Tessa?
Y equals
Good. What I want you guys to do is plot the data. Notice your X is the years since 92, 0 being 92, right? And the Y is teachers in the 10,000s. So go ahead and plot those points. We have them plotted. Notice though it ends up at 7,330, which is a good point. I'm just going to try and split the data as best that I can. And it continues out like that. We do know what the y-intercept is, right? It's 0, 282, but those are not good numbers to use, right? What's real close to 282? So we're going to use 0, 280. Okay? So let's find the slope of that line. The slope, we're going to say y minus y over x minus x. Remember, I don't use subscripts because they confuse you guys. So just be one word when you're doing this. Consistent. So I'm going to take 330 minus 280 over, if I started here, I've got to start with this one's x. So I'm going to go 7 minus 0. And I get 50 over 7. And I'm going to just round that to about 7.14. We know the slope. What would my y-intercept be since I made it 0, 280? My slope is 7.14 approximately. My b is what, Alex? 280. So now we can write the equation y equals 7.14x plus 280. Predict the number of teachers in 2006. Well, that's a year, so we have to find x. So what you have to do is take it's 2006, and it started at 1992. How many years is that, Jackson? 14. You are going to replace x with 14. So you write y equals 7.14 times 14 plus 280 and figure out what that is. We don't want to write 379.96. We want to round it to 380, right? But is that the number of teachers? Nope, because the chart is in 10,000s. So what is 380 times 10,000? So there are 3,800,000 teachers in the United States in 2006. Is that going up?